Today, I'm going to share the top 10 reasons you should sell your house on seller financing. Most people, real estate agents included, don't even know what seller financing is or that it's the best way to sell your house or invest in real estate. In this video, I'm going to go in depth to explain the best reasons to sell your house on seller financing. With so many incredible advantages, seller financing might be the best kept secret in real estate. I'm going to explain why seller finance is the safest, easiest, and most profitable way to invest in real estate. Sound too good to be true? I assure you that it's not. Hi, I'm Ty the Real Estate Guy, and if you'd like to stay up to date on latest real estate tips and trends, subscribe to my channel below and ring that little bell. If you have questions or comments, please leave a message below. I'll do my best to respond to each one of you. If you're looking to buy, sell, build a home, or invest here in Utah, I would love to talk to you. Please feel free to call or text. So I was introduced to this unique system of selling real estate by a friend, Dustin Zeller, who is also a real estate agent. My wife and I were in the process of building a house while trying to sell a home that we currently lived in. We were feeling anxious because a few months had passed since we'd listed our home and we weren't getting any showings. We had reduced the price of our home as low as we were willing to go, but we were running out of time. Dustin stepped in and showed me how to sell my house for a higher price and earn passive income at the same time. I recently produced a video telling my story, so I won't do it now, but it was a real eye-opener. And when it was all said and done, I ended up netting an additional $50,000 by selling my house through his creative financing system. And after 10 years of fine-tuning this program and more than 300 seller finance transactions, we've teamed up to help people all over Utah who, just like you, want to maximize the profits on the sale of their home. If you live in Utah, anywhere near Salt Lake City, from Ogden all the way down to Santaquin, and you're looking to sell your home, schedule an appointment with us before you do anything else. We will explain the program to you in detail and give you numbers for your specific property. You're welcome to come visit us at one of our offices, or we can come to you. If you're an investor, we've expanded this program to help you purchase real estate and then convert those properties using the same program. Either way, this could be the most important video that you ever watch if you're serious about maximizing the amount of money that you can make in real estate and protect yourself at the same time. Your mind will be blown at how much money you will make by selling your home on seller finance as opposed to selling it traditionally. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, the house always wins. Not only is this true with casinos, but it's also true with banks. When you seller finance a property, you become the bank and you win big. Most people, real estate agents included, don't know what seller finance is or that it's even an option. Here's a basic definition. Seller finance is when an individual purchases a house directly from the owner of the property as opposed to using a bank or a mortgage lender. It works similar to traditional financing through a bank, but the buyer pays the owner of the home monthly over an agreed period of time with a specific interest rate and terms. Even though the owner of the home, otherwise known as the seller, benefits the most from this type of transaction, seller finance is beneficial to both parties. Okay, here are the advantages to seller finance. Number one, super fast closings. You can close just days after going under contract on seller finance. When you sell the home traditionally, the closing usually takes 30 to 45 days and sometimes longer. On seller finance, there's no waiting on the bank, the underwriter, or the legal department to approve and process the loan. You can close on your home and have cash in hand in less than a week. Number two, you pay no closing costs in most scenarios, and the closing cost for the buyer is much lower than a traditional loan. On seller finance transactions, you don't have to pay lender fees or for an appraisal. Financially, this is a huge advantage for both the buyer and the seller because closing costs can often be more than $10,000. As a seller, this is a huge benefit because the buyer usually won't ask you to pay the closing costs. And the buyer pays minimal title fees, usually $1,200 to $1,500. As a seller, this could keep an additional $5,000 to $15,000 in your pocket. Because the buyer's paying a fraction of normal closing costs, they rarely ask you to pitch in. How nice is that? Number three, no home inspection. On seller finance, it's rare that the buyer will choose to hire a home inspector. This is a huge advantage for you, the seller, because you won't have to repair or replace anything. I've had home inspections come back with major concerns. These issues can cause the buyer to cancel or demand that you do thousands of dollars of repairs. Number 4, you will often receive a huge down payment. It might take a little longer to put the property under contract, but it's worth it. On our seller finance transactions, we require a minimum of 10% down. If a buyer wants a better interest rate, you can require that they put more money down. Some investors are happy to collect a smaller down payment, and that's fine. But I want the buyers of my properties to have more skin in the game, and I will gladly wait for someone who can put more money down. I'm willing to give a better rate with more money down for 2 reasons. Number 1, it lessens the chance that the buyer will default or walk away. Number 2, cash is king. As a real estate investor, you should always be seeking ways to collect and save as much cash as possible. Keep in mind, you need to pay the normal realtor commissions on these transactions. Number 5, you use that large down payment to purchase your next property sooner, often just weeks after closing on the previous property. Most likely, you want to rent that property out for at least 1 year. It's not a big deal because home values usually increase over time. Often, you can sell the home a year later for more than what you paid. I'll talk about that more in just a moment. Number 6, no management. With seller finance, they are buying the home, so you don't have to manage the property or the people living in it. If you've ever managed a rental property, you know firsthand that it can suck. Even if you've never owned a rental property, I know that you've heard the stories. You're often dealing with constant phone calls and complaints from the tenants. It can be difficult to get into the home to turn on and off the sprinklers or change filters or whatever. It seems like you're always repairing or replacing something, and you might be responsible for mowing the lawn, among other things. It can be frustrating and annoying. It takes time away from the things that you'd rather be doing, and all those repairs can be costly. Many choose to hire a property management company, but that just cuts into your profits. With seller finance, the client is buying the home from you. It's basically the same thing as when you buy a home from the bank. The buyer is responsible for all maintenance of that home. As an investor, this is awesome because you don't have to do a dang thing. That includes collecting the monthly payment. I recommend hiring an escrow company to collect that monthly payment and the late fees if needed. Number 7, you sell the home on your terms. Yes, it's creative financing, and there's often some give and take or negotiating, but for the most part, as a seller, you set the requirements. This would include the interest rate, the required down payment, the term of the loan, penalties, and etc. This also gives you the ability to remove the buyer from the property if they stop paying. When set up correctly, you retain the title. So from a financial standpoint, the buyer defaulting is usually a good thing because you get to keep the entire down payment, any money that was collected monthly, and most importantly, you get to keep the home. Then you can resell the property on seller finance again, and usually for more than what you sold it for the first time. Number 8, you can sell the home for more than what it's worth. This is normal practice and it benefits both parties. Obviously, the buyer doesn't want to overpay, but they realize that they're buying the property on seller finance because they don't qualify to buy a house right now. And for most buyers, they won't qualify for years. Because home values increase over time, they would most likely pay more for the property several years down the road. The advantage for you is that you're selling the home for more than what it's worth today, adding thousands of dollars in instant equity. The higher sale price will also increase the buyer's monthly payment and your profitability. Number 9, you can charge a higher interest rate. When you combine the higher home prices with increasing mortgage rates, you can easily net $1,000 or more per month. On seller finance, you can charge the buyer an interest rate of 6% or higher. I start higher than 6%, but offer a lower rate if the buyer is willing to put more money down. Each month, when the payment is received, more money is applied to the principal on your mortgage than the buyer's. So you're also making money on the back end. Number 10, seller finance is one of the safest ways to invest in real estate. Here in Utah, we take all transactions through a real estate attorney to make sure the contract is set up correctly to minimize risk for our clients. Our contracts are written so you can't lose the house through some sort of deceit or trickery by the buyer. With seller finance transactions, you don't have to worry about squatters like you do with rental properties. And if the buyer can no longer make their payment, we've developed a system that strongly encourages them to move out of the home without damaging the property. We don't ever want to evict one of our buyers, but when it has happened, our clients have always made out like bandits. And we can just resell the home for more than we did the first time, increasing your profitability. There are loads of other advantages to seller finance. This video is meant to give you a basic understanding. Because seller finance is confusing, you will absolutely want a professional on your side. Because most real estate agents don't understand seller finance, you'll need to do some research to find an agent who specializes in seller finance where you live. I'm not discrediting other agents, but I've seen some top-notch realtors screw up these types of transactions. It's no secret that seller finance is complicated. Dustin and I often sell these properties for 10% or more above market value. We know how to maximize the rate and the down payment from the buyer, and we've come up with the best terms to protect you. We also pride ourselves on guiding you through the entire process. We're there to answer your questions even after you've closed on the property, and we're there to help you should anything go wrong. We also know several creative ways to help you purchase investment properties at a much quicker pace, making sure you're not getting too aggressive. If you're looking to sell your home and you live here in Utah, or you're looking for the best way to invest in Utah's real estate, feel free to reach out to me personally to schedule an appointment or to simply ask questions. I'd love to serve you in any way I can. Dustin and I have released several videos breaking down recent deals that we have done for our other clients. Look for the links to those videos in the description below. If you don't live in Utah, I'm guessing that in most markets, there's a small handful of agents who really know how to do seller finance. So I'm sure many of you are wondering what happens when the buyer pays you off or refinances the property. Well, you'll receive a large chunk of money and you can do it all over again. To give a quick example, a few years ago, I was able to sell one of my rental properties and purchase 3 homes using our unique and extremely profitable seller finance program. Even an average person or a person with an average salary can become a millionaire through seller financing properties. But if you're a serious investor and you have the ability to invest in multiple properties, you will be shocked at how financially beneficial seller finance can be and how little risk is involved. Hopefully, you can now see why seller finance is the best way to invest in real estate and why it's our preferred route for investing. Whether you're looking to sell your personal home or you want to invest in real estate, seller finance is the obvious choice. I know you have a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lot of other people that watch this video will have the same or a similar question. So once again, please don't hesitate to type a message below. If you live here in Utah, feel free to call or text. Dustin and I would love to meet with you. If you'd like, we can meet at your house to see if seller finance is right for you. If you're looking to buy, sell, build a home, or invest in Utah real estate, please feel free to give me a call or text. If you know someone who's thinking about selling their home, please share this video with them, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and ring that bell to be notified each time I post new videos. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Ty the Real Estate Guy. If you found this information helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to ring that little bell below. It'll make you feel good.